There's so much drama going on right now. New pineapple cup with a crown. Who dis? Hey, what is up all my social comment friends? It's Dustin and I am back with another video. Now, you guys, I know it has been a very long time, like 3 weeks since I posted a video. I posted a video, I think yesterday or the day before, about John cooking. That was so impromptu. I had no idea that I was gonna film that video. I mean, I made it in my car. And I just kept seeing all this shit about John cooking and I wanted to talk about it, so that is why that video was made. I have been working very, very freaking hard because you guys know that I actually went back to work. I have redone this whole spare room at the other end of my house because I needed a filming space. I got so sick of seeing all that cluttered crap behind me in my videos, and you guys know if you've been watching me for any extended period of time, I used to film in my dining room. It was a mess, and then I moved into my boyfriend's office and I had a green screen behind me and that worked for a little bit, but I got real over it like real freaking quick. And now I was just like to the point where I was like, I have got to have my own space to do this so I can film videos comfortably and make them worthwhile and have a nice background and a nice backdrop. Now you guys, I know you can't really see too much of what's going on in my room, but I do have different spaces because I do plan on filming different series and I do want to do different things and I want to have a nice aesthetic. I painted this whole room gray. A lot of you guys loved it. I tweeted it out and I love it. It's just like so nice to actually have a nice, clean, open space to film in where I can have good lighting and things like that. I did actually post this on Instagram and a lot of you guys actually commented back to me and you said that you may actually want to see like a room tour. I would more than happily do that if you guys would be interested in that. Leave it down below. I did also have quite a few suggestions from people to actually make a video on how to make a clean looking space to film videos in. I could also do that if you would be interested in it. That is not really like my forte. I do like interior design and things like that. And I know you can't really see too much of what's going on beside me, but there is stuff on the walls. I do plan on getting some things back here to put beside my picture. It's kind of like cut off. I might move it down, but it says life is lit. I love it. The theme in this room is gray. It's kind of like monochrome. It's gray, gold, and silver. My light fixture is silver. I love it so much. I wish you could see it. I do have like a floating shelf on my wall and some chevron curtains, all of which I love. They're very me. They're like monochrome, but I do want to say also, by me moving my space to the end of my house, I am very close to a main road on this side, so if you hear like cars passing by and things like that, or my crazy ass neighbors cutting their grass, I apologize. And this intro of this video is like hella fucking long, so I apologize for that. So if you're here for the drama, it's about Jeffree Star and Dani Mansutti. Now you may be wondering why I actually brought John cooking up in the beginning of this video. It's because he actually plays a role somewhat in this actual video, because as you guys know, about a year or so ago, John Cookie made a video series about Dani Mansutti exposing her for animal abuse or alleged animal abuse. And that is something actually that is near and dear to my heart. I love old people, I love children, and I love animals. You guys know that I have a Shih Tzu, and the Shih Tzu is my fucking world. He's like my child, and I would hurt anybody that came in between him and myself. My dog is like my freaking life. He's like my child. I don't have kids. I would do literally anything for my dog. And I know that there's a lot of animal lovers out there, and this whole story with Dani Mansutti, like really, I didn't even know who she was, but when I found out about what went on with her and her dog, I was immediately turned off. So there was allegedly this animal abuse that went on with Dani Mansutti. She apparently left her dog in the dark for like a very, very freaking long time in like a cage. I seen the video, there was like shit like smeared all up in the floor. Like, number one, if you're gonna have an animal, like make time for your animal, and two, make sure that you're being clean about your animals. Like, nobody wants to walk into their house and see like dog shit smeared across the floor on the walls, and that's definitely what I seen in the video. And this was like the only video that John Cookie made that was like very intriguing to me, because it was actually about something that I actually enjoyed. And it's just weird to me, and I'll explain why Jeffree Star came at Dani Mansutti about this in this way. So for those of you that do not know, Dani Mansutti actually tweeted out, yesterday was 420. I don't need to explain what 420 is for you guys, I don't think, but the short of it is, if you don't know what 420 means, it's actually like, I think police lingo for, or cop lingo for like marijuana or something like that. I could be totally wrong. I just know that 420 means weed and things like that, and yesterday was 420 here in the United States, so a lot of people were probably smoking weed. Jeffree Star is known for smoking weed. He just actually released his grinders and a lot of people bought them, whatever. My take on weed is to each their own. If you want to do it, if you're not hurting anybody, I had never seen anybody get hurt by smoking weed. If there has been cases of that, please let me know, but I just don't think that weed is a bad thing. I don't personally partake in smoking weed because I have a good job and I just don't like the way that that shit makes me feel. I have not done that in like freaking 15 years. It's just not my thing. I've never been into that. Much like I don't drink alcohol, I've just never been that type of person. I'm high on life. I love living life. I like being in control of my thoughts. I like being able to do things without a clouded judgment. And that's just my take on it. Dani Mansutti actually tweeted this out today. She said, I know, it's legal in some parts of the US, but I feel a bit uncomfortable seeing influencers promoting weed and being stoned all over my feed. Just seems so wrong to me. It makes me feel so weird knowing how young some of their audience will be. And then she also tweeted something else. Different cultures, I suppose. I've grown up in a world where that is not something to promote and be proud of at all. Maybe it's just different in the US. So, at this point in time, like, I know that in the UK that marijuana use is like either strictly prohibited or just completely illegal at all. Like, I don't know if it's like acceptable even with like a card. Like here in the United States, you can get a card in certain states that would allow you to smoke weed if you have health issues. But Jeffree Star thought that Dani Mansutti was tweeting about her and he went the fuck in. He tweeted back to her and said, you abused your dog and are a piece of shit, so anything you say is automatically invalid. That is actually something that Jeffree Star has said that I can actually agree with. If you abuse animals, you're a piece of shit. I don't necessarily think it makes anything you say invalid, but you are the lowest of low. You are a piece of shit, and I'm not gonna value what you have to say about anything anyway. So, I mean, I can definitely agree with what Jeffree Star is saying in this circumstance, in this actual one tweet. So, him and Dani Mansutti go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And like, this is just like never ending. So this is before he tweeted back to Dani Mansutti. He added her in this right before he tweeted to her and said, at Dani Mansutti, yesterday Bretman Rock and I posted on social media smoking. Him and I have never suggested that anyone follow in our footsteps or smoke. We are just living our lives authentically. Sorry your country is far behind. We can't relate. Now, I will say this. I think it's great if Dani Mansutti actually said this with the pretense of actually like trying to influence people to not smoke weed. I think if she was actually trying to cater to a young audience and saying this and saying that she doesn't agree with it, great. I think that everybody that has any kind of influence should do what they feel is right. In this case, I kind of feel like she was maybe subtweeting about Jeffree Star, because we all know that Jeffree Star was smoking weed on 420. We just all know. We all know it. So apparently while I'm looking at this, and I'm not entirely sure, it's saying that this tweet is unavailable. Jeffree Star quote tweeted Dani Mansutti and it said, so people shouldn't live their lives because you don't agree with it. Imagine being that ignorant. It says tweet unavailable, but when I click on it, it's when she says the original tweet, which is really weird to me. So I don't know if she deleted that or whatever. It's actually showing that again, but it's coming up for me. It's maybe because I've actually clicked on it. Dani Mansutti then said, in all honesty, I was starting to see a good side of Jeffree recently and started to admire his products, but this is really mean, unnecessary, and I don't understand why he's chosen to take it as a personal attack. I'm really disappointed that this sort of behavior is okay. Jeffree then tweets her and says, but you just said you didn't follow me, so the hypocrisy on this one is a whole new level. You're an animal abuser and should be removed from social media. Anyone can Google what you did to your dog. Next. Now this right here is really, really interesting to me, because I know that one person did a mega exposed video on Dani Mansutti, and that would be John Cookian. So is Jeffree Star watching John Cookian's videos, or did he actually just look this up? Dani Mansutti, once he seen her subtweet about him for some dirt, and then he just like went to this animal abuse case that John Cookian covered. Like, I don't know, that's really interesting to me. I want to know your guys' thoughts on that. Do you think that Jeffree Star just like went on YouTube and looked up Dani Mansutti because he knew she was an influencer? Because I don't think Dani Mansutti is anywhere on Jeffree Star's radar. And John Cookian's video popped up and he used the first thing that popped up. I know that there was a few small videos made about Dani Mansutti by other drama channels or people that didn't actually even cover drama at that time. It's just weird to me. Dani then quotes Jeffree's tweet that he just said and said, "Almost 2 years ago, I was told by a puppy trainer to give her her own ventilated room to sleep in, which I did, and was told online that it wasn't okay, so I rectified it immediately and allowed her to sleep in my room. There onwards, that's what happened." Jeffree then says, "No, you were caught and tried to make excuses for your piece of shit behavior. Your country should ban you from ever being around animals. The video I saw of you forgetting your dog was in a dark room still haunts me." Whoa. Like, and you guys all know that Jeffree Star very much loves dogs, especially because he has 5 Pomeranians. So I think Jeffree Star is one of those types of people that is going to stand up wholeheartedly for something that he believes in. And I really, like, I don't know, like, I know that he really does care for animals. Like, it's obvious he has 5 Pomeranians. But I don't know if he's using this as a means to, like, drag her, or if he was, like, genuinely into this story at that point in time when it came out. It's just really interesting to me that Jeffree Star would bring this up. Dani then quote tweets what Jeffree just said and says, "This is becoming so exaggerated, so false, and so ridiculous that I won't be responding to any more tweets about this. My initial tweet wasn't about Jeffree. I'm not going to sink down to his level and bring up things about his past either because it's unnecessary." So, I mean, we all know what Dani Mansutti was trying to get at here. We all know that Jeffree Star does have a very, very nasty past. We all know that Jeffree Star has made some very gross racial comments. We all know that Jeffree Star has made some very insensitive comments to people of color, and then Jeffree just like loses his shit and says this. He replies back, "Really, trying to deflect on my past. That's your educated response? I said some ignorant, stupid shit 12 years ago. You, on the other hand, forgot to give your dog food and water and left it in a dark room for 12 hours. I'm just like, at this point, when I'm reading this, I'm just shook. Oh, I do also want to say, this tea was actually sent to me by my friend Anna. She sent me the first initial screenshots in this, and I went from there and I've uncovered this whole thread like live on this video. I did actually film a video before this, but it was all over the place and I was like, fuck that. Like, my people deserve me to actually give them all of this because I left out all of it and I went back after the fact and I was like, fuck that. Like, I've got to put all of this in this video. This video is probably going to be like hella long. Do I think that Dani Mansutti was subtweeting at Jeffree Star? I wholeheartedly, honestly feel in my heart of hearts that Dani Mansutti was trying to be shady. She must follow somebody in the United States because we know that yesterday was 420 and there were going to be a lot of people smoking weed. We also know that Jeffree Star celebrates 420. He has a 420 party every single year. And like Jeffree said in his tweet, him and Bretman Rock put out this video of them smoking weed yesterday. So we know for a fact that Jeffree Star has a major influence. I think Dani Mansutti was absolutely trying to subtweet Jeffree Star. I don't know if it was for attention or whatever. But at the end of the day, like, girl, if you live in a glass house, you shouldn't throw stones. Jeffree Star dragged you because you were fucking subtweeting him, I think. And he dragged you for something that is a proven fucking fact about you. You were not treating your dog, in my personal opinion, the best way that you could have. You trying to rectify this after the fact doesn't take away what you did in the beginning. And as far as Jeffree Star goes, like, you guys know that sometimes he can take tweets that may not necessarily be about him and turn them into something about him. You guys know this with what just happened with Nathan and Manny and Jeffree. Manny said that this tweet was absolutely not about Nathan, and Jeffree Star somehow made it about him. I don't know. I just don't know, you guys. I want to know what you guys think down below. Was this messy of Jeffree Star to go after Dani Mansutti this way? And with him saying everything, I agree with what he said about the animals. I just cannot get behind anybody that mistreats or, like, doesn't take care of their animal to the best of their ability and do what they can for them. I'm just not cool with that. But you guys, let me know what you think down below. I am going to be working on a true crime video. I am so totally captivated by this story. I hope you guys will watch it. It's about Kiana Galvin. This girl just went completely missing one day, and there has not been any kind of media coverage about it. I really want to talk about it and bring awareness to it. At least I have some kind of a voice. A video that I make may get to the right person, and it only takes one person to solve a case. And there is unfortunately not a lot of information about this story, and I really want to talk about it so much. And if you made it to the end of this video, I thank you so very much, and I hope you will stay tuned to my channel because big things are coming. I promise you. I have so many plans for this summer. In-person collabs are planned, and plane tickets have been purchased, and I'm just so excited about what's going to happen with YouTube. But you guys, I hope you have a great Saturday, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.